Okay, thank you very much. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, councillors, and welcome to the Brungley Town Council meeting of the 18th of September 2025. I can ask for apologies for absence.
Apologies from councillors Court, Howard and Steady.
Thank you very much. Councillors, you've had the minutes of the meeting of the 21st of August circulated. Are there any comments or corrections for accuracy? Can I have a proposal?
Yep.
Thank you, Rick. Seconder? Thank you, Kate. All those in favour? Agreed. Thank you very much. Mayor's announcements, you have circulated a copy and I don't really have anything to add to that, unless there are any questions. Thank you. I'll move on from that. So, number 4, declaration of members' interest, either for pecuniary or other registered interests. Any? I'll take that as a no. Thank you very much. So, moving on to item 5, report from Councillor Goggin, County Councillor Goggin, sorry. Please come and join us.
Thank you. Where do you want me to sit, here or
Yeah,
here?
as chair, wherever you like. Yeah.
Done enough.
Yeah.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Good news or bad news, depending on where he was on the bet for the time finish. St Joseph had their meeting day before yesterday, so I haven't got to go to St Joseph.
Oh.
That could be a good news or it could be bad news. I've sent my notes in. Was there anything anybody wanted? I've got a few things to bring up. Anybody wanted anything special that they want me to focus on or just come up with? If not, I'll just dive in.
I suggest you dive in.
Okay, all right, okay. Today's a big day. Today was the day that Essex County Council made the decision and recommendation for the government paper that goes forward on the 26th of September. The extraordinary meeting just to discuss that one item. Very good debate. Across the board, it's interesting to see that there was across the whole board of political and divisional and district, there was an agreement that number one option, which is to do nothing, is out of the question. The position with councils and cities going bankrupt because of special needs kids and because of adult social care. Essex County Council is one of the best run financially institutions in the country, and already we're forecasting if nothing is done, that something like 2030, Essex County Council will be close to bust. So that's the level. For those of you that followed it, I know that there's been some very good meetings, I think, at tendering at other places. The concept is that the government have asked each county council to come up with their options, their options. In some councils, they haven't gone back to the public, they haven't gone back to councils. This has been made by the cabinet and the political leader. Essex decided to go the whole hog and to have a full meeting with the councils. And that was today. On the table, if you can imagine, there's one scheme for 2 unitaries, there's one scheme for 3 unitaries, there are 2 schemes for 4 unitaries, and there's one scheme for 5. So there's 5 potential schemes which we've done the financial budgeting on. And today was the vote at the council, and the overwhelming recommendation was 4 of the 3 unitaries. It doesn't mean to say the others aren't there. We put the same energy into looking at the others, and of course there's nothing to say that the government, when they get it, or the minister, when they get the change of minister, by the way, in the shuffle, will completely override it. So we're ahead of the game. If you want to watch I recommend it because there's some excellent debates, really good debates.
What did they recommend?
Oh, 3.
3.
Yeah, 3.
Just before you move off of that, can I just confirm, when will you find out?
March? Yeah, March.
So there's no specific one.
No, the deadline for getting your paperwork in was the 26th of September. Now, I don't know what happens when you don't get your paperwork in time.
I think what they're going to do is do some consultation between now and January, February, once they've decided on the options that are feasible, I think, and then the decision will be made in March and an order will be made in July.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, again, just to keep you up to date, I'll do my best to do that. And there's good info coming backwards, particularly from the Colchester held their meeting on Monday night, Tedwin had their meeting, Braintree had this. And all of the options are on the table, all of the options on the table. Right, so that's that. In terms of the roads of the town, we've had a busy month. Dover Road's been done, Manor House Way, the front of the Bellmouth has been done, Church Road's been done, bollards at the church have been done. Something that's caused an awful lot of people an awful lot of pain, and it's been a big issue on my inbox, has been the issue regarding flags. I'll give you the official line, and then you can see what you make of it. Officially, the safety of the roads sits with Essex County Council, apart from the major roads, apart from the M25 and the A12, etc. So all the little town roads and the A and B roads, Essex County Council are in charge of in terms of safety. I don't know how far you've travelled, but the flag, you want to be a flag salesman, I guess, at the moment, because that must be a pretty good job. It's everywhere. You go down the A12 and every crossing's got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on them. There's some appeared in Brightlingsea, there's a load in Clacton. I went to Frenton the other day and there's some. Technically speaking, along in the highway, if Essex County Council deems something to be a hazard or overpopulation, so you can't see the proper signs, they have the right to remove it. And that follows with a whole range of things. A lot of the time, and town councils you can lead as well, because you can ask for it. A lot of the time people just turn a blind eye if you've got open gardens, or you've got a fete, or you've got a carnival, or you've got a firework display, or something like that. Technically speaking, you shouldn't be putting up signs. They tend to go up 10 or 8 days before, if possible, and possibly come down the day after. But everybody's a bit relaxed. Sometimes there's a lot of them in one place, which is, so technically speaking, anybody who puts a flag up on a Essex County Council road, on a street light, Essex County Council could come along and take it down. The view has been taken that if there is a real danger to people driving and getting perhaps a flag waving near a speed sign or a give way sign or something that interferes with the everyday driving, they will take it down. But the vast majority of the flags, they're not in the way, they're not a hazard. Now the majority of the people who phoned me are quite adamant. They're quite adamant about the underlying situation of interpretation about putting up the flags. They're very upset. There's a couple of people who have who've sent written complaints in asking the police to come and go. We have said that as a county council, we are not going to take the flags down that aren't in anybody's way, because all we end up thinking will happen is we'll take them down, there'll be a picture taken, and then another one will come up the next day. So we don't want teams of guys going around taking down flags when they shouldn't do that. So that's the official view. Some people like it, some people don't like it, but at the moment, that's the way it is. I don't know if anybody wants anything to say on that.
I know the police won't take it down either.
No.
We've had a number of complaints and we've basically said that.
Yeah. Okay.
So
So,
Maybe
repeat
that's classed as picking sides and just leave it alone, let everything take its course.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
leave things to it. You shouldn't be involved.
that's exactly what our view is. And again, you're I remember, I've done a lot of time with the Brightsea in Bloom, and I remember Val and Ted Gilders very well. Loads of times vandalisation occurred and flowers were pulled up, and they said, what do we do about it? And they said, nothing, we just go, we replant. We just put them. So what you're doing, you're inflaming a situation where someone's already inflamed. So, in terms of local issues, the big issue that's coming up at the moment for people in Brightsea, anybody goes to Colchester, you will come across the Alsford Viaduct, which has got a 7.5 tonne limit on it. Doesn't really affect us that much, but it affects the people of Alsford quite a lot because there are lots of vehicles coming up to those signs and then going through the village. The department that's dealing with it is going to recommend an 18-tonne limit. So that means that bigger lorries, which currently are not coming down that road, will come down that road, and bigger lorries that perhaps are coming down that road and not turning into Brightsea will come down that road. So we expect we expect some changes, but at the moment the railway company have quoted a figure of £30 million to repair the bridge. Sorry, it's 1932 or 1935 bridge. It's had all sorts of stuff. So that's that. And that's that. Farrington Parish meeting, just to let you know, cancelled the meeting because they were not quorate. There was an illness and a couple of things, so they didn't have enough people to be quorate. I attended a site visit in Lime Street along with several other councillors. There was an uncomfortable public dispute with residents regarding public right of way. Public right of way is to deal with Essex County Council. We submitted some questions and we submitted some requests and we're waiting for a response. For those of you, Belfield Avenue is finished, my son. Belfield Avenue is finished. Yeah. I think last time I was told it was 52 years. Interestingly, my first ever visit to Brightsea was at 2 o'clock on a Sunday morning to go to number 9 Belfield Avenue, where I was with Mary.
At least you won't be getting any more videos from me of my travelling through Belfield Avenue on the bus. Anymore.
Well, don't forget, it's hopefully done. Flag Hill, for those of you that use Lufkin's Farm, Crossroads, more and more people from Brightsea are doing that. Particularly some early in the morning, finding it's a bit crowded. There is a stop sign going up. There is a stop sign, warning sign 120 yards before. There's refreshes on the signs. The slow signs are being refreshed, the other slow signs. We're looking into who owns the trees on the left-hand side as you come out, trying to get some of those taken down. And I think, Mr. Chairman, one of my clerks, I call them my clerks, so they're not my clerks, at Thorrington was verbally abused. I just let you know, there is a department, Essex County Council, abusing staff of any description, particularly clerks for some reason, who get just totally unacceptable. Report it to me and I'll make sure that it's dealt with appropriately. Lime Street, Thorrington, Edgefields.
Okay, Alan?
I think that's it.
Okay, any questions? Okay, well, so we'll just call a meeting to a halt for a second to allow any public questions of County Council. Yes.
Richard Price.
Richard,
The consultants, you know, I thought, well, I'll have a look at how many consultants are being employed for each of these plans. Well, isn't it strange? I tend for the district councils and the borough councils, they're clear. They've got 3. You've got 1, but there's also Grant Thornton, who are the methodology people. And if you want to read that, you might as well read the complete works of Shakespeare. but
I think I'd understand the full works of Shakespeare
yeah,
easier.
but you and so they're quite clear. You might tell me who your consultants are for the Essex 3. Then I come to Thurrock, and you can't find anything out about the consultants for Thurrock. Now, Thurrock are putting forward their plan. Let's hope it's not chosen. But they were put into administration, you know that, Alan. They were investigated by the Special Fraud Office. They are over £1 billion in debt, and that money is in Spain, somebody with a private jet. So if their plan, their business plan is accepted by the government, what could possibly go wrong? But my question is, maybe you could read Thurrock's business plan, because you're a financial expert, and maybe report back to us afterwards and see, not being biased, but you see where I'm coming from. But am I clear about these consultants? The government are paying for all these consultants out of the taxpayers' money and not any of the ratepayers' money.
That's a bit of an oxymoron there, because ratepayers and taxpayers are the same people.
Yes, I know that.
We've got your money, we just don't know which hand we've got on.
Yeah, but I don't want my money at Thurrock. I can assure you of that.
Okay.
Sorry.
Just to let you know, when I spoke today, I was very pleased to do so, because I thought this is a once in 50-year change. For me, it boiled down to security and safety. And there was no, as I said, there's no black and white. There's not A is better than B or B is better than C. And for me, the statistics from both, there were two sets of accounts set forward. So for me, the key points that I made we focused on the 3 unitaries. For the 3 unitaries, the implementation cost us 74 million. For the others, it's 89 million and 106 million. For the 3 unitaries, the total net benefit over 5 years is 86 million. For the others, it was 21 million loss and 114 million loss. The 3 units is the payback period, and this is a bit that got some humour.
I don't know. I mean, if we're going to have a debate, you've got to allow. Obviously, I will make a response to that, but I think the public should know that the figures you're quoting were released sort of 24 hours before the deadline, and none of the other authorities had much time to scrutinise the figures that the county council were quoting. And as Richard says, the consultants involved. Is it PricewaterhouseCoopers?
There were 2
in Grant Thornton.
Yeah.
Obviously, they've got a case to put forward to justify their massive fees, and I didn't have time to read the case you're putting forward, but the figures were ludicrous, in my humble opinion. Looking at some of the payback times on the 3, the payback time was 3 years, or so about 5 years. 2.7 years. And what's the payback time on the others?
6.1 and 53.6.
53. Yeah. So I think there's a certain bias inherent in some of those figures, and I don't think they actually mean a lot to the public. But they will, obviously, the decision will be made by the government. And I mean, obviously, I'll be making a case now for 5 units.
Yes.
Basically on the grounds of better representation, more local democracy, more accountability, more authority with each councillor. So there's the debate was held, as Alan said yesterday, at his site, and the cabinet last week at tendering. We obviously put the case for the 5, and you can watch that. I think the case was very well argued, and in my view, is the best thing for tendering, if not for the entire county. But there's some big issues around parishes here, and there's a lot still to be determined.
Okay,
Consultants paradise.
I've allowed that to continue, so you had a riposte.
Yes,
I think, can we just come back to Brightlingsea for a second, please?
Yeah.
Because we have our own issues. I'm sure that debate
Yeah,
will continue.
So that's your answer.
Yes, that's
Any
fine.
other questions?
That's fine.
No, thank you very much. Thanks again,
Do you
Alan.
mind if I stay? This is
No,
the
you
first time for ages. And I
No,
just,
you go ahead. You go ahead.
thanks.
So, if I can therefore move on, that's the item number 5, we can move to item number 6. I don't know which order you wanted. Joan, you always seem to never go first, so it's your turn to go first.
My turn to go first, I don't think I've got anything to add. Oh, no, I'm just gonna come in a little bit on what Nick said. I am, as I said at last month's meeting, I am group leader of the independent group. We supported 5 unitaries, which went through at Cabinet last week. And if anybody really wants a copy, I do have a spare copy of an agenda which has got all the write-up and the reasons.
Yes, I'm worried when you are.
So that's really all I've got to say.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I just support that. I think I've said my piece on that, and I'm very happy to, discuss further with people, public or just to say we have got a meeting as with the town councillors with the corporate director from Tenerife District Council next week about the what is going to happen to the assets in Brighton. So it would be very much a discussion about what's going to happen locally, and I think that the mantra and the position of Tenerife Council is that throughout all this we want to leave Tenerife in the best possible shape for the residents, and that we will do our best to make that happen by whatever means possible, and that involves looking at the assets that we have in the town, the Tenerife assets, and come to hopefully some agreement about how we can sustain those and keep those in good shape. So I think we're working, very actively behind the scenes on this. It's been time consuming since January with all the officers, and I would say it's a distraction. You wouldn't be in it. It's been a complete and utter nightmare for some of the officers. They've had to spend nearly all their time on this, and without any indication which one is going to be accepted by the government. So we're in the hands of the government at the end of the day. But I think everybody spent a lot of time making their own case, and we stick by the 5, working with Colchester and Braintree as the best one for our district here. We already work quite closely with Colchester and Braintree on a number of procurement issues and a number of contract issues, and we've got no attachment at all to Oldesford, which is the Saffron Walden Stansted area, which is what the three unitaries will put us in with, or Malden, which is another option, puts in with Malden. So I think where we are is probably the best, and fingers crossed that we get that outcome.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, just make a comment really. Obviously, this is a government decision it's going to go to, and obviously Essex and Tenerife have made their submissions and looked at their own reasons for doing so. But bringing it back to Brightlingsea, did the Essex County Council and TDC recognise the importance of the local town councils and try and promote that? And hopefully things like Clacton have their own town councils and stuff. And and did you sort of push that as being that's where you thought that was the future, rather than just your own?
Well, yeah, I mean, very much so. It's not about the bigger picture, because I think the bigger picture has been predetermined. If I'm honest, I think this is a bit of a short consultation. Yeah. But we have been clear from day one, and I think when we put a submission in April to the Chief Executive of Tenerife about the assets in the town and what the potential outcomes were in terms of transfer or ownership, and we haven't had any further discussion since then. So the meeting next week will be a starter and will lead on to further discussions and negotiations with hopefully a set of firm proposals early in the new year or later this year that can then be taken through the whatever processes and governance it needs to go through to come into reality. So it's going to be a massive change for the town. I mean, you know, the last time we had this, 1974, was 50 years ago.
Yeah.
And there will be some significant changes to service delivery and some service provision. Pretty unsure what they're going to be at the moment because of the uncertainty of which model is going to be chosen. But I think we are very, you know, active within the town council. We've had, I think, 3 meetings to discuss around the options, and I think all I can do is, you know, reassure residents that we will aim to get the best deal we can for Brightlingsea, and other towns are doing the same. I know Walton's doing some negotiations. Other towns don't have any assets to discuss. I think Harwich and Manningtree are not really engaging in this process. Clacton doesn't have a town council. It's hurriedly trying to create one, so it can have a body that will be able to inherit some of these services and assets, or else that will go straight over to the unit.
Okay, good. Maybe we're in front of the game for a change.
Good.
Any other questions for Mick Cobb? No? Okay, thank you very much indeed. We therefore move on to the team's reports. FCA.
Not me.
No, it's me.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Thanks, Greg.
Okay, sorry.
So FCA met on the 15th September. We discussed a number of items. The first one up for discussion was in relation to the waterfront development strategy, the boat park, and our response to BMMO, which Councillor Morgan gave a briefing for. I understand that a letter's been formulated by Councillor Pavley and Councillor Morgan for a response to the MMO. I thought that was going to be attached, actually, Tracy. We read the letter that we can.
Oh, no, I wasn't asked to attach it, so.
Everybody's seen it though, haven't they?
Yes, I
And,
think so.
and I got some comments. Yeah.
Yeah, so has everybody actually seen it so we can make a
Yeah.
recommendation?
It was emailed out to everybody.
Yes, okay. There was a general discussion about beach art. The sale has been agreed on beach art. Bateman's Tower, we received a progress report for September from the architect, and again that's been circulated to everybody to have a look at. It's noted that all work seem to be on target at the moment, and it was agreed that we'd send him a response thanking him for his response and trying to get a date in the diary for the 3 monthly meeting in person. General discussion around Lower Park Road, the rugby club and the Scouts share an area at the moment where there is a container which is generally being used by the rugby club for storage. The Scouts want to try and reclaim that area. It is within their demise, so we're proposing to write a letter to the rugby club after Dave has done a site visit to see where we might be able to move it to on Lower Park Road, on Lower Park Rec, with a view to them not having to remove it completely, just move it to a different area so the Scouts can still utilise the area that they want to. And then there was a discussion about the community centre. There have been some concerns raised by residents and visitors to the town about the outside activities at the community centre. And again, we're proposing that we write to them, asking them for their relevant insurances and licences surrounding their outdoor activities. So there's a number of recommendations there. First one is for the MMO letter from councillors Morgan and Pavley to be sent. The next one is for the meeting at Bateman's Tower to be scheduled. The next one is for the letter, which is attached to the notes there. I don't know if everybody's had an opportunity to read that. To be sent to the community centre, asking for the relevant insurances and licences. And the one I missed out, I think, is post Davis visit, a letter to the rugby club asking them if it's possible for them to move their container.
Thank you.
Just a slight update on the beach hut. We were contacted only yesterday by the estate agent to say that the new owner or the buyer was alarmed to see that the roof has come off. This was what I was told. But actually, Terry went and chopped down and had a look. It wasn't the roof coming off. It was just a piece of sheet of thing just blown in the wind. And Terry and local builder, got together and they've sorted that out, so everything is okay again. But it was a moment I thought, oh my God, the roof.
So we,
But it's all right.
so the purchase is going through.
Yeah, I understand it is now.
Right, fine.
So the only other thing to mention was the report from Terry, the grounds manager, around the boating lake, and it seems that at the moment the recent flushing of the boating lake at the high tides seems to have done the job. We're keeping our fingers crossed. There are some more high tides due in October, and I think Terry's hoping to repeat the process again.
So I don't know this is a real question, not if anybody else does. I noted today that the signs have come off of the seats around.
No, it might have just blown off, Chris.
There's a lot of them on, there was a lot missing then. I just wondered if is it considered now open or not?
No.
No.
Terry, if I could just come in, Terry took some samples today, so they've been sent off
Right.
to be tested.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify that because I wasn't sure.
Okay,
Somebody did
I'll
ask
ask
me.
I don't think they've been removed. He didn't say he was going to
There
remove
was,
them.
it could be somebody's just taken off. There was a couple stuck on the back of seats, aren't they? And they were missing today. And I thought, oh, has Terry taken them off?
That's the wind, I think.
That's the wind.
And so that's it from me, and there's those 4 recommendations.
Terry had a question?
This, I don't really know how to say it, but it's like I said in the meeting, which is fine, so I'm sure everyone else is in agreement. You know, when we go to the community centre, I really want to stress the fact that the fact that they've made such a nice area for the kids to play.
Right.
And it is just literally just to make sure it's for safety and that we go about it in a nice way, and because I don't want it to feel like
Okay.
it all has to come to a stop. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, and that's minuted, so they'll be able to read that.
I think we said we can work together to address any
Yeah.
issues.
Yeah, I just don't want him to feel like he has to stop everything.
It does say that in the letter at the bottom of the letter, and also I think it was agreed at the meeting that Chris and I would go and speak with them in person, so they don't just get the letter and what else going on.
Yeah, I mean, I know that there are some notes attached from the working party meeting to the end, but there's no mention in the action minutes of that discussion. And I think it was the meeting of the working party was scheduled from the last meeting of the SCA, where it was agreed by everyone that we should do that. And I think with the impending discussions with tendering officers about the Western Prom and how we deal with it going forward, I think it's just important that we have some acknowledgement that that working party exists in the minutes. If we could say we did sort of.
It does say in here on the lower park, about the Rotary Club and Scouts. This then fed into a general discussion about the Western Prom Working Party, see attached notes from the meeting held on 15th of the 9th.
Okay. All right.
So
But just,
it's slightly.
Okay,
I think we had some confusion about.
Yeah, no,
what
that's,
it's all about. I hope that's been cleared up, but I do think that is quite an important, group to meet and look at in some detail that anything that comes out of the meeting is attended. Because I don't think we can do it within the actual FCA. We need to go away and look at, figures and so on, and come back with some
I think it
response.
made the FCA much more workable, having discussed it the day before, didn't it?
Okay, so
Proposing.
you're proposing, do you have a second? Second, Mick, second, all those in favour?
One more thing,
Yeah.
can I join the working party, please?
Yeah, okay. All those in favour? That's unanimous, thank you very much. Take a deep breath, because you are going to now do EMT.
Am I?
Mm.
Oh, okay.
You would have been, you hear that we're struggling for membership otherwise.
I'll take my glasses off and become Jim.
I can't read it.
So ENT meeting was held on the 11th of September, and we received updates on the following: the small animal wildlife signs. I briefed that the next local highways panel would be on the 26th of September, and after a discussion with Alan, I think it's going to be raised at the next local highways panel. Is that right, Alan? But there was confirmation that the funds were in place and the project had been approved. Just one thing to mention on that, I did notice on Alan's notes, it says that we can put through our top 3 future planned, what's it say on Alan's notes? It says, future items planned, and we as a parish can put through our top 3.
Yeah.
Will the small wildlife signs be one of those top 3?
I would have thought so. You're trying to get 4, are you?
No, I'm trying to get that as one of the 3. I didn't know what the 3 were.
Hang on, Alan, do you want to comment?
Sorry, apologies for interrupting. I think we may be slightly confused.
Right, okay.
The list for your top 3 is potholes.
Right,
Potholes.
okay. Potholes.
Oh, yes, I'm-
Okay, that's fine. We don't want to be the ground, we want to.
No.
So we don't get 3 potholes.
The 2020s placards were discussed. Councillor Steady gave a briefing on the initiative and how we would be proposing to move that forward with the amended signs if needs be. The no entry signs at Victoria Place and the War Memorial were discussed, and it was agreed to ask the County Council of Godwin for an update on that. I don't know whether that was done at any point. Colin the Crab signs, again, that was me, we discussed, and I believe they went to finance and they approved in their new format. The bus stop at the Old Forge again was discussed, and again we agreed to pass that to County Council of Godwin. As this is Councillor Pentney was missing from the meeting, but I don't think it was Kerry that was going to be doing it. I thought it was. I don't think that was you, was it,
What,
Kerry?
the Old Forge?
Yeah.
What about the ground,
About the bus stop.
which, yeah, I'd reported it to Terry.
Oh, did
I
you?
asked if there was a
Right,
way
okay.
we could do something about it, because
Right, because it's
you can't
coming out
actually
into
have
the
more
road.
than one person on that tiny piece of land,
Right, okay.
where the bus stop is.
Right. I don't know if that was brought forward to you, was it, Anna?
Lots
Um,
of recommendations for previous.
Oh, right, okay, sorry, I thought these were recommendations from last time, sorry. And then I think there was an update about the tail ram device and that it will be moved to another part of town to start recording traffic data in another part of town. Street lights in Robinson Road, there was a discussion and it was agreed that if we receive further complaints, because I think there's only been one complaint from one resident at the moment, then we would look at the matter further. But at the minute, there was only one local resident that highlighted the lack of street lights in Robinson Road. Councillor Court briefed on the Sunshine Coast Greenway cycling and walking route. And he's going to bring it back to the next ENT for further discussion. And I think that was it. The Western Road hedge has been cut back
All the way?
virtually all the way. I think it's just going to
Still
be.
got some more to do, but you
Yeah.
can't do that until October.
Right, okay.
But I think the height's been reduced as well, hasn't it? Or something.
The children can now use the path.
Yeah, yeah. Parking at Strangers Corner was discussed again as well, and it was agreed that we would pass that to Essex County Council Highways for their action. And in fact, it was something that was highlighted with the district commander when we met with the police during the week.
Yeah.
There was a waste management report from Councillor Steady, which was circulated to all members, and the rubbish at the lozenge was discussed, and we were under the impression that it was moved later in the afternoon, but it seems it might have been somebody else dumping it again. So, yeah, recommendations.
Well, just hang on a second, we've got to
Yeah.
go to your recommendations.
Yeah.
Michael wants to ask a question.
Are you correctly prescribing for members on to sit on the NP?
No, I don't think so. I think it's just that Matt's away and Jean's
okay.
away.
Otherwise I'll be happy to.
So I
Okay.
think they're the only two that's missing. And Graham, yeah, so three.
You're on
three
it,
members.
I
think
think
you're
you
on it.
voted anyway, you voted.
I think I might have been standing in for something.
No,
I
you're
can't
on
remember, Gary.
No, you're on it.
Oh, I am on it, sorry.
So go
Okay.
down that rabbit hole.
Kerry.
Did anyone find out about the 30 sign outside Springmead? The flashing sign? And whether that's actually, what's going on with it? Because everyone keeps saying they're going to go check it. Has it actually been checked?
Not that I'm aware of. I don't think it was discussed at ENT either.
Where's
Have
this?
you seen it? So you know outside Springmead Gardens,
Yeah.
there's a sign, so it's not the school sign, because I've been back up there and had a look. So you've got the triangle with the flashing lights. Before that, there's there's a sign on one of the posts, and it's a flashing 30 sign, but it's not working.
Is it a VAS sign?
Obviously, well, I don't know it's not working because I drive at the speed limit. But
Goody two shoes.
no, really not. But I'm just wondering if it is something we can get up and running.
No reason why not.
Apparently, there's power to it. I think Terry said it was live, but it's just not.
Is anyone, if it's a road defect, my suggestion number one is to report it as a
No,
road defect.
you know the signs, the 30 signs.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
But if it's not working,
Oh, okay.
is it working?
Well, I don't know. I'm not going to fly past it and check.
Oh, go on.
You can do it on the way home.
Absolutely not. Okay. There's two solutions here. One is everybody's driving under 30 and it isn't happening. I think that's a bit unlikely, to be honest. It's probably just stood there long enough.
Yeah.
Two is it's not working because it's not for some reason, in which case it's a defect. So let's report it and get someone out to inspect
It's
it.
just because we've been trying to get signs there, and I thought, well, there's one there already. We're not using.
We'll get it on the report, Karen, because that'll be the quickest way. Okay, if we don't, do you want to now go through the recommendations then?
Yes,
very
I
quickly?
do, yeah. So, recommendations, small animal wildlife signs, to ask Councillor Godwin for an update post the local highways panel meeting on the 26th of September. Next one is the 20 placards. Councillor Stedding would like to come back with different designs and ideas on whether or not any additional costs would be involved in this initiative. We're waiting for Councillor Steady to update that. No entrance signs in Victoria Place by the War Memorial. Ask Councillor Goggin for an update. And Colin the Crab to go to finance, which is already done.
Okay, you're a proposer?
I've got one more. The bus stop at the Old Forge, to pass this item to Councillor Goggin, as well as the bus stop in Brightonsea Road, opposite Quenby, as they're full of weeds, covered by hedges and overgrown, well lit, and obscure people from the road, and it's going to get more dangerous as we come into winter. And the last one is for the tail round device, to be moved to a different part of town to start recording traffic later.
Okay, propose, seconder please. Thank you, Carrie, all those in favour?
Great.
Thank you. Passed. Okay, that's ENC. Jane, welfare?
No, I didn't have a report other than we've now got the dates and posters through for the COVID and flu vaccinations. There's 6 bookings, starting in October through to December, and the walk-in at the YMCA.
Right.
Also, and the reason they're doing 6 is Brightonsea is actually the biggest uptake. 370 odd last year.
Is that for flu, is it?
They're doing flu this time for anybody who is entitled under the age of 65, but anybody over 65. So I've got some posters for Tracy to put in the window.
Can I just ask if there are different dates for the over 65s and the under 65 with health conditions?
So altogether,
Altogether.
and it's just walking, no appointments.
Okay, good.
Good, excellent, okay, thank you for that. And then communications then.
Chair, members, we've had 2 communications meetings since our last full council meeting, which is in the main really to talk about how we can, the communications committee can get their heads and eyes around social media. We're pleased to know that we've gone something forward on that, and we are still learning about it, and I would think in the October council we could do a full little display of where we are. But the big sell on communications at the moment is the Town Council Community Survey, which has been ably put together by yourself, Chair, with thanks, thank you very much. However, I must tell you that our chairman has taken advantage of the salubrious AI. However, it's not all finished when you do AI, because you have to go through it, run it by minute, and just change it as a human does. And what the chair has done there is really quite interesting, where we've fed the statistics into an AI program, and we've come out with the report that you've got in front of you, the survey, and a summary sheet. The next time the
communications meet, it will be as to how we start spreading the word from this survey. But it's out there now, and I recommend that you give it a good read. There you go.
Do you think it's worth publishing?
I do think it's worth publishing on the website. There's a couple of little typos we've just got to do, but as soon as we've done that, I think we can just, let's publish it.
And that AI can't spell it.
I know, it's lovely, yeah.
I've also just, and you can see, you haven't mentioned, I've also done the same with the neighbourhood plan and put it through. But I think one of the things to really note about that was that one of the key issues that's come out in every survey that I've checked so far, and one of the key issues for people with Brightlingsea is the cleanliness of the town.
Yeah.
And we normally talk about dog poo, which makes up a very substantial amount of it, but also it's emptying bins and the general state of the town and the cleanliness. And I think maybe we should consider that in some of our meetings, ENT and wherever.
And to embrace AI.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't be frightened of it. AI. Thank you, Jim.
Okay, thank you very much. I don't think there's any other recommendations there. So if I can, therefore, I'll move on to item 8, which is finance and Rick.
Thank you. Yeah, that's okay. Thank you, Chair. Well, the Finance Committee meeting held on Tuesday, the 16th of September. The minutes are in front of you. There was a recommendation, there's a couple of small write-offs which is impossible to collect. We are looking at the Model Boat Club licence to make it proportional to the amount of usage they are able to use. Obviously, we're still waiting to let the boating lake will get back in use because they're dead keen to get back. But we obviously want to send them the invoice proportional to their use for the year. I think it's only fair. And then going on from there, the external auditor's report was agreed and accepted, so that's all done. The only part on that which they wanted to raise was the risk assessment, but we have done that. That is now completed, so that's good. Beach Hut, there was a recommendation there to finally agree that will be sold. Then the good news to the public is that the members' allowance, although we were able to claim much higher fees, the councillors have agreed to remain the same, no increase at all this year, at £552 for the members and £696 for the mayor. So hopefully that's regarded as good faith.
It's easier on me.
Okay, so and then there was a couple of requests for money, which you can see with the items and recommendations are there. We did have, unfortunately, a bit of a breakage on one of the machines through Terry and the team, and we had a quotation of £900 for the repair or £1,000 to have a brand new engine. So we said blow it, but we went for the £1,000 for the brand new engine. So that's been agreed, or we agreed here tonight. And I think the Colin Grab, as Kate has already alluded to. And then just the last recommendation about the men's shed, which we're going to go and meet them and just talk about their lease and stuff like that.
Can we just clarify to the public that the town clerk gave councillors at the meeting dispensation to discuss the members' allowance? If not, members would have been in the room to make the decision.
If members of the public understand that, I mean, we normally have to declare any interest which would be of any benefit to each of us, and obviously members' allowances would be beneficial to all of us, so that was special dispensation.
I need to put it into context for everybody, the members of the public. I think, if I'm right, we're very close to actually only taking half what we're allowed to.
And can I just come in also on members' allowances, just to say that co-opted councillors cannot claim members' allowance.
Right.
That's not what I was going to ask, but that's not.
You want to rise?
Yeah. Just one note, on the budget and financial report, there it makes reference to Brightsea Rugby Club, Councillor Morgan, to take this forward. I just wondered what that was for.
But we're really talking about the siting of the container, and we're also going to look at the men's
No,
Chair.
This item was, outstanding invoices.
Ah, that's right.
Oh, right,
Yes, that's
okay,
right.
for the training.
That was the
It was
other thing.
outstanding
That was the other
Right,
thing.
yeah,
training.
makes sense, yeah.
I'm led to believe they didn't train in April and May, so I
Okay,
think that
So
would be a
we're
right.
going to have a little chat with them and the men's shed.
yeah, shed, okay, yeah, it's fine, thank you.
Okay, so,
I propose.
disabled, thank you, all those in favour? Thank you, that's unanimous. Moving on to B then, Jane, I think.
No,
No, Ricky's.
Oh, Ricky, you're doing everything.
well, not quite, not quite everything. Okay, Councillor Chapman and I have examined the accounts for August 2025 and under the delegated authority for the Finance Committee confirmed that 17 payments of the sum of £5,054 and 35p have been authorised and paid. The statements of balances of the following accounts are to be accepted. Current account 21,877.91, the business premium account 28,744.13 pence, business premium account £637, the public sector CCLA deposit account 51,913.96, instant access account 0373 is 43,974.25p, and the current T2 account is 37,180.91 pence, making a total of all accounts of £184,328.86 pence. The income for August 25 was 17,411.86 pence. The expenditure for August 25 was £44,326.12 pence. The cash card payments for August 25 was £382.29 pence. The Barclaycard payments for August 25 was £555.25 pence. And the income to date from the 1st of April to the 31st of August, that's on 5 months now, is £243,880.41 pence. And the expenditure to date for the same period is £196,760.19 pence. And the employee payments paid for the month of August 25 were £20,351.61.
Thank you very much.
I'll second.
Thank you. All those in favour? Thank you. Carrying unanimous. Moving on to item 9, planning. The chairman of planning isn't here at present time, but I don't think there's much to add to the minutes of those meetings. Jane, you might want to say something about the local planning.
The call for sites which went out. The first call for sites they didn't have many sites come in. They called for sites again where they got just on 400 sites. We've now cut it down to approximately 190, which they're working on. And this will probably go out for public consultation in each area somewhere around the end of October.
Did you, by any chance, count how many sites were put up for voting?
I think there was 6, if I remember roughly. I'll get that checked.
Okay.
And also going back onto planning, the plan for Lime Street has been withdrawn at the moment because it was under section 74. It's an illegal application. They asked for change of use, but they've broken planning in the first place, so it has to start all over again.
Okay.
So that was the planning application we called in.
Right. And there's been a comment from Essex Highways. Do you want to make a comment?
Yeah, Essex Highways, actually, their report came out virtually the same day. Tendering hadn't even got that comment from Essex Highways to say that Essex Highways would not support an application down on Lime Street because it increased the traffic movements.
Okay. Any questions? No. Move on. Thank you very much. We don't have to go to the, So I think we've got to item 10, which is now questions from the public. If the usual process, if you wouldn't mind standing up and asking your questions, and just tell us who you are first. Richard,
Richard
we know
Price,
you.
yeah, you know me, but I'm also speaking for Dave Stone as well tonight. Oh, no. I can take his question.
He's
No.
got there.
We belong to the Association of Parish and Town Councils.
Mhm.
They have an AGM, I believe, on the 25th, and it's online.
Mhm.
They are going to have a guest speaker on devolution, which might be interesting. They might know a bit more about parish councils. I don't know. But have we got anybody going on from Brighton?
Yeah, Matt Court is our regular.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, I thought,
Yeah, and Matt and I already talked about that webinar. We'll
Yeah.
probably both watch it.
Yeah, the second thing is about the emergency plan for Brighton. Has it been updated? And I was talking to Jane, Resilient Forum. She said it's something to do with terrorism. Well, years ago, Vivian Chapman always kept us informed about what Essex County were doing about the attacks on churches and mosques. That's what it was. But maybe Jane can say a bit more about it, please.
Unfortunately, the meeting was last night.
Yeah.
That I had planned to go to, but I had to attend another local plan meeting instead, so I didn't get to that one. As soon as I get the minutes through from it, I'll, as far as I was aware, the resilience side was being discussed.
Yeah.
So as soon as I get them,
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you, John.
I'll let you know.
Oh, Councillor Chapman.
Are there any other questions? Yes.
Christine Erskine, it's a very small one really. There's a problem with one of the breakwaters outside the beach huts, and I really don't know who to get in touch with. I've been passed from pillar to post over this, and I wonder if anybody can help me.
Yeah, I think Seafront are a tendering matter. I don't know which one you're referring to.
It's opposite Beach Hut 194. And it's a very broken one, which it's not necessary there. It's not doing anything.
No.
And the danger is that when we've been swimming in the summer, we've been knocking ourselves on it because part of it is there, and there's a big gap, and then there's another bit that sticks out.
So it's not actually doing anything, but it needs making safe.
Yeah, exactly. It's not needed there. It's not by the beaches. It's not doing any job there.
Okay.
But it would just be nice if it could be sorted
I'll
sometime.
raise
please.
that with the Roman.
Lovely. Thank you very much.
John, you want to say something?
Yeah, this appeared about 4 years ago, Chair, and there was a bit of a ping pong game going on between the Environment Agency, Brighton Town Council and Tendring. Tendring kept saying it was the Environment Agency kept saying it was Tendring's because I'm Tendring's land, and basically nothing ever happened. They're all getting a bit bad, to be honest. It's not just that one, they're all of them up.
Yeah.
Okay.
The others are fairly noticeable because they're on the beach area down by the sailing club.
Yeah.
But this is one on its own, doing absolutely nothing because it's broken. It's just bits of wood sticking up in the air, and it is quite dangerous.
It's worth saying also, Councillor Barry, that what's his name? St Moses Boatyard, barge owner of Edney, volunteered to take one of the green hearts that we've got in store and to splice it down the middle and use the green heart to repair it, because the wood that has been used previously is pretty substandard, to be honest.
It doesn't really need replacing, it needs taking away, because where it is, it's one on its own and it's not doing anything at all, not like the other ones.
I understand that one, but where it is right where the north drift is from Point Clear, where the sand comes right the way around, and that one gets battered by all that sand.
Oh, I see,
It's the north
okay.
drift.
Right.
Okay, Kate, and then
Thank you.
Mike.
Really, I just wanted to say the same as John. If we do establish who actually is responsible for them, can they review the whole lot, because they're all falling to pieces?
I think that's one for the new unitary.
Yeah, I was gonna say
There's the ping pong game.
What's it called? The hospital pass.
differ on whether it's legal or not. These drawings perform a very vital function of stopping coastal drift, so they cannot be left out.
Well, I think we'll leave that to the experts at tendering or the environmental agency to make that.
Whoever the experts are.
Whoever the experts are.
Be Duncan Nicholson.
Yes.
Duncan Nicholson, more than likely. Are there any other questions from the public? Well, thank you very much.
You got a problem with it?
Yes, I know. I was just saying, thank you very much. We'll move on to the clerk's report. Only to note. Just before I close the meeting, I think it's worth mentioning to the public that, as you probably know, on Wednesday, we had the Tuesday, it was the district commander came here and talked to us about the general state of Brightonsea, congratulated us again at having quite a low number of reports, which worries me again, because I always worry that people aren't reporting when they should be. He did make the point that crime is down 12%. 12%. We did have a rather long conversation about graffiti and just general bad behaviour of some of the youngsters and things like that. But what actually came out of that was that the Tendring District Council actually has an antisocial, what's it called?
No, antisocial behaviour team.
So what?
Antisocial behaviour team.
Antisocial behavioural team, which you can report to, and they will look into it. And I mean, obviously they don't have the powers of the police, but we found them quite effective in writing letters, apparently, in the past. Somehow we've drifted off of this, and most of us didn't know it existed. We're going to publish that number because I think that telephone number could be quite useful for actually the more annoying, low-key stuff about kids making noises or graffiti or things like that. So that's an area we're going to put out in the local commons.
Yes, they've got it on the counter here.
And there's some,
Yes. They came in today, the lady from Tendring that was here on Tuesday and has bought some cards. So they're on the reception desk.
and what I'd like to say about that conversation was that in talking to the police, you really got the feeling that there were bigger things for them to do. And I'm sure there are. The difference between those people, I actually thought they were quite enthusiastic and sounded quite desperate for the information. So I think we might be actually using that more often and actually maybe getting a much more positive result out of it. Okay.
I was going to say, to let the public know about this extra eye.
Oh yes, that's the other thing. Yes.
If you pick up,
Essex Extra Eye Scheme.
Essex, you don't know, it's well done. Essex Extra Eye Scheme. We took an example like the kids doing the donuts down on the car park. Providing you get some recording and any registration number, you can upload it to this Essex Extra Eye Scheme and they will deal with it. They take all the reports from that and handle it. I think we learned quite a lot actually.
Yeah, and the important thing about both those things was you detected a level of enthusiasm, as if, you know, that actually might happen, something might happen with those two. The Extra Eyes one, with the officer that was talking about it, basically saying it's not used enough. And certainly the antisocial behaviour people from Tendring definitely gave the impression that they needed work. You know, they were looking for people to report more. So that information is out on the desk, but we'll also be publicising it through our
So is that
newsletter.
just for antisocial behaviour or is that for everything?
It's just antisocial behaviour,
Yeah.
so stuff that doesn't constitute a criminal offence.
Or is it, yeah. So I thought that would be worth you knowing. We'll put that out because I've had recently a lot of people coming up to me, and it's, you know, people breaking. What was it the other day? Somebody's gone along and broken some limbs off, branches off of a tree that was overhanging and things like that. And I think that Tendring District Council thing might be the way to go with those types of issues.
It's loud music.
Loud music, that was another one.
Things like that.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't get it within the hour, but we're now 8:05, and I'd like to close the meeting. Thank you very much.
Fiver, Chair.
Thank you very much.
It's good.